Right guys, we're here with Northon today. We want to get to know Northon a little bit more. So Northon, can you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
Yeah, so my real name's Corey Watson. My stage name's Northon. I'm from Newcastle upon Tyne, and I would like to think I'm a local DJ.
Great stuff. So how did your DJing journey first start?
So I've got a friend that works in lighting technician. So he's been surrounded by DJs, live music all of his life, and he owned a set of decks. And while I was just at his one time, and I said, could you show us? And as he was showing us like the technical aspect. I just fell in love putting two tracks together, bought my own set of decks, and then just kind of mixed and learned from home. I was pulling off YouTube videos, any kind of tutorial I got, and then just as I've gotten more comfortable with mixing and was able to kind of think, right, okay, this is becoming a little bit more than just a hobby. I could see myself kind of doing this. I was looking out to see if there was any open deck sessions, and there was one in York, and I got talking to them, and he said that he was kind of changing the way the open decks were working, and he was going to put on free club nights to give GDs a chance to play in front of the crowd, and I took with it and run with it. So I've been DJing in York for a little while now, getting to know the promoters and DJs up there, built myself like quite a good network, and then since Newcastle's where I'm from, I really wanted to like obviously come into my local scene, and I'm just doing that slowly and finding some success with it. It's
Great,
good.
Great stuff. So what was the moment that made you think that I want to take this seriously, this is what I want to do?
I think when I was learning how to DJ, like looking at YouTube tutorials and stuff, I started watching live sets, and I think what kind of really got it started was in 2024 I went to Ibiza, and watching DJs like Patrick Toppin, Fisher, I started, instead of becoming like a spectator, I started looking at how the DJs were mixing, and I thought, this is something I really want to try and sink my teeth into. And then just as I've consumed more content, whether it was mixing, whether it was DJ sets, I started to become more than a hobby, and I used to like go to sleep thinking about DJing, wake up thinking about DJing, and I thought, this is an obsession that I really want to take further.
Good stuff. So, if somebody was to meet you and never heard you play before, how would you describe your sound?
So I like to diversify between techno and house. I'm starting to lean mainly into house stuff, and as I keep building my brand and as I keep practicing mixing and stuff like that, I feel like my... Sorry, can we start that again?
Sorry. That's absolutely fine. Let's just say, so, which genres do you think influence your sets more?
I would like to think tech house is definitely my strongest genre of house music. I'm starting to lean into a lot more minimal house, a lot more vocal house, and I've started to learn how to mix soulful house. And I feel like I want to develop my sound around all of these. So by playing longer sets, I would like to think maybe I'd start with a little bit of minimal, and as the night goes on, get into the techier stuff. But I love in the middle of the set having a lot of anthems that you can sing along to as well. I like to think of my set as like a 3-stage part. So you've got the starting out, the mid, and then the lift. And I feel like in the middle, I always think it's good to obviously get people moving by maybe having a couple of bangers, and then hitting the harder stuff like the heavier, the high BPM tech house and stuff like that.
Great stuff. So, why do you think Newcastle is so important for up-and-coming DJs?
I think I'm very lucky to be a part of Newcastle. You know, going out when I was 18, there was an event on everywhere, every night. Monday you had stuff like Digi Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesday you had stuff like Dirts, which used to be Purdue. Obviously all the club names have changed, but you know, the events and the network stay the same. I feel like if you're getting into dance music and there's a lot more opportunities now. There's a lot of clubs, there's a lot of bars, there's a lot of people you can promote to, and every DJ I've met's been lovely. They're eager to get you on board, and I feel like if you put the work in, there is so much opportunity, especially now. And I feel like getting back into the scene and looking at it from a DJ's perspective instead of someone that would just be going out drinking and dancing. You've got all these local scenes. You've got like a D&B scene, like in Oosburn. You've got places that play house and techno, a lot of places like World Headquarters. I just feel like you're spoiled for choice with Newcastle, and I feel like if you're able to break into the scene, I feel like you'll fly.
Great stuff. So are there any local DJs or artists or promoters that have inspired you to sort of want to push yourself any further?
I think definitely going to the open deck sessions. I've managed to meet a lot of local DJs. So with doing the intensity events as well. Adam Elliott's one that I've gotten to know a little bit, and I think he's really good. Charlie Roos, I think he's brilliant, especially for the age he's at. You know, he's finding a lot of success, and I feel like it's inspiring someone, seeing someone that young. I felt a little bit of pressure being a little bit older than most of the DJs that I've met. I feel like it just gives us that little bit of extra push to go, right, okay, it doesn't matter what age you are, you can still get into this game. And I feel like with promoters, there's a promoter called Ryan Mackay, he's been doing it for years. I find a lot of inspiration for him because you've seen the longevity of him. I remember going into Empress Bar, seeing him DJ when I was like 18, 19, and just seeing the longevity of him and the fact that he's given back to DJs with the open deck sessions like Who's Jack. It's just that's a really good avenue for DJs to go in as well, and it's a good place to network.
Good stuff. So, what's been your proudest moment so far as a DJ?
I think probably it's my first gig. So my first gig was in York. It was in a place called the Drone Board, and I think my proudest moment was just being able to take myself from a bedroom DJ, obviously all the pressure and all the nervousness that comes from that, and then being able to play a good set and watching people dance. It's kind of a feeling. It's like a drug rush. You know what I mean? It's kind of, you're constantly chasing that feeling, and then I feel like that also builds around the DJing side. So you want to do a better set, not for yourself, but it's mainly for the people dancing and having a good time. Because I feel like with a DJ, it's not just all about yourself. It's about you're one part of the night. You've got the bar staff, you've got the DJ, you've got the dance floor. You're just a cog on the wheel.
Great stuff. What do you think has been your biggest challenge you've faced while trying to grow as a DJ?
So I think the hardest struggle is been managing time. So I'm a young dad, I've got a 10-month-year-old daughter, and I feel like family definitely comes first in it. It's about managing time, it's about putting the hours in with the DJing, practicing, learning new transitions. It's also about going out there and networking. And obviously my main focus is also raising my daughter. So you've got to be a super dad, but then you've got to be someone who's able to manage the time and try and be a superstar that way.
Yeah, really good. So, how do you prepare for a set before stepping behind the decks? What goes into the process?
So I think with every gig it's different. So if it's a place that I've never played before, I like to do as much research as I can. Maybe find a couple of DJs that have played there in the past. Kind of find out what the vibe is, what kind of music it is, what kind of music people enjoy. I like to go and see the venue itself. If I can, maybe go on a night out there. If I can, try and get the scope of it. Once I've got that down, it comes to the music side of things. So I'm subscribed to a couple of record pools like Zip DJ, DJ City, as far as sourcing music. And I like to build crates in my record box, so I might get about 10 or 12 tracks that I think might fit the night, labelled that groove. And I like I say, going back to the structure of, I like to start off in 3 stages of my set. So I like to have warm up, I like to have mid, and then lift. And I like to pick tracks that I feel like that would go from the night, but then have a backup crate in case maybe the vibe isn't going that well. So then I bring all of my library with us, but I just feel like it takes all the stress away of having to hunt through tracks. If you've got stuff there that's ready to go, it's probably organisation's key, I feel like, in this business.
Great stuff. So, what makes a good DJ in your opinion?
I feel like what makes a good DJ is taking ego out of it and looking at yourself as a part of a team. So like I was going on about the bartenders and the dance floor, you're a key part of the night. It's all about reading the room. And for me, that's my main focus as a DJ. Watching people have a good time, playing something that people can really relate with, and creating moments for people on the dance floor. So when people come in from work, they might have had a bad day, and then what they're looking forward to is going out on maybe a Friday or a Saturday. And if I'm able to deliver that kind of moment and that kind of relief for someone, it's quite heartwarming, if you know what I mean, and it's very fulfilling. And I feel like that's what being a DJ is about. Yes, it's being a good track selector, and it's also being able to read the room, but you're providing moments that people will remember.
Cool. Okay. So, what is your one go-to track that always gets a good reaction?
I would like to think it's one that I've recently started playing, but I've played it in quite a few venues now, and it always gets a reaction. So it's a remix called Like a G6 by J Bruce, and obviously it's a well-known track, but it incorporates the tech house feel that I always look for, and any time it goes on, it gets a really good reaction.
Cool. Okay. So, moving on to social media, how important do you think social media is today for DJs?
I think it's probably the utmost importance, because obviously back in the day when you didn't have social media, it was a lot harder. You had to go out, you had to hand out flyers. Now you can do that with a couple of clicks of the button. I feel like if being a DJ, especially if you want to become a touring DJ and do all the big shows, you're not just a DJ anymore, you're a social media manager, you're technically like the CEO of your own brand, and you've got to look at it as a business. So I feel like if you want to develop in the local scene, yes, word of mouth will probably get you a lot further, but if you want to reach then bigger stages and maybe go into different cities, if you go abroad and if you're a touring DJ, social media is literally the key to get you out there. So practicing. Yes, not everyone likes being in front of a camera, but I feel like now in today's age, it's bread and butter.
So what do you think up-and-coming DJs and newer DJs who are new to the scene need to do more of to get noticed?
I feel like networking is definitely probably the biggest thing for DJs to do. I feel like if you're able to go out, and obviously not a lot of about money and stuff like that, but even just going out and trying to speak to the DJ when he's got 5 minutes, speak to a promoter that might be still handing flyers out or drink tickets on the street. I feel like if you're trying to reach out to DJs through social media, that'll only get you so far, because you've got to think that they'll have hundreds of DJs a day. You're just a name, so you need to bring out. Sorry, could you repeat the question?
That's okay, no problem. So, what do you think up-and-coming DJs need to do more of to get noticed? Not just in the local scene, but across the world, realistically.
I think definitely mastering social media. I think social media is your biggest tool, because now you're able to reach not just people locally, but you're also able to reach people globally. If there's a dream venue that you want to go to, reaching out to that venue and being able to follow up. If you go to a networking event, or if you see someone on the street or at a gig, being able to follow up and continue, because it's not just about saying, "Oh, I'm a DJ, here's me mix, kapukas." You've got to develop relationships. It's about community, and I feel like being able to master social media as well as knowing how to network is probably your two biggest tools.
Cool. So what's one big mistake that you have made which has helped you develop as a DJ?
I think definitely overthinking. I think it's definitely one of my biggest habits, but still being quite brand new to DJing, like I'm starting to see a little bit of success at playing different venues, and with that comes feelings like nervousness and overthinking, and I think being very self-critical on myself also has worked, because I'm also when I'm going through track selection and stuff like that, I'm not just going down one route. I'm thinking, right, okay, well, I've seen the venues playing this kind of stuff, but I also want to put a little bit of me in there. So it's incorporating it all, and I feel like overthinking is really being my superpower, because then it's only as worse as what you think it is. And if you mess up a transition, it's not the end of the world. But me overthinking that, putting the extra practice in, means that it minimises them kind of bad transitions.
Cool. So, think about the local area, think about Newcastle. Where would you like to play? Where would there be yes, I'm where I need to be at this moment, where would you love to play in here?
So my dream venue is definitely World Headquarters. I feel like every time I've went there, it's just amazing. It's everything that I love to do and go to as obviously a spectator, as someone who wants to go out, and with coming from a techno background and now leaning more into house, it has both. And I just feel like, the people that go there, the crowds, the energy, it's everything that I'd love to go and do as in a club. I'd love to play, I've always wanted to play on like a rooftop terrace, like above. Above's definitely a venue I'd love to play in. And yeah, fingers crossed one day I'll be able to get the chance.
Okay, so what are your goals for the next 12 months?
I think for my goals for the next 12 months, definitely developing my sound, learning music production. That's something that's at the uppermost of my mind. I really want to, I've got a list of venues that I want to play. I want to play at least 2 or 3. I want to network a lot more and build a lot more connections, because like I say about it becoming a community, I want to be part of the community. And I also want to, I think my main goal is definitely figuring it out where I am on the scale and what kind of value I can bring to promoters and venues.
Cool. Okay. What advice would you give to somebody that's just starting out as a DJ, no matter what age they are?
Just get up and do it. I just feel like when you buy your own set of decks, learning the time, trying that tricky transition. If there's 2 tracks you really want to play together, watching YouTube videos or whatever, do whatever you've got to do to be able to put them 2 tracks together and just enjoy it. I feel like, when you first come into this, and I'm very guilty of this, when it comes to wanting to take it as a career and really take that next step into it becoming reality, just learning to enjoy it first and the rest will come.
Cool. Okay, last one for you. What do you think platforms like Launchpad are important? Do you think they're important for emerging DJs and artists to have that one-to-one contact and to be able to speak to somebody on specifics?
I think having someone there that's really got your back, and I feel like Launchpad is that person, because being a DJ is now a business. You're your own CEO, you're a social media manager, you're a business manager, you're an accountant. Launchpad can take all of them things away from you, and it leaves you just to focus on the DJing, the thing that you really love. And I feel like Launchpad is a great, if you ever get the opportunity to work with Launchpad, take it, because they don't just have your back, they can be your friend, they can be a mentor, and they can be someone there that can, if you ever need advice or questions, they've got their answers for you.
Great stuff. Right, ladies and gents, that has been Northon. So please keep an eye out for him. He will be making his debut in Newcastle very, very soon on the big stage. So keep an eye out.
Thank you very much.